Hello, this is John Miller, the creator of this podcast. Now, the rest of Everest is probably the most in-depth look at just what it takes to climb the world's highest peak. But keep in mind that it is a series. And if you're checking out the podcast for the first time, do yourself a favor, go back to episode 0 and watch everything in order. That's really the right way to enjoy it. Thanks so much.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 64, Sat Phones and Monkeys.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Rest of Everest video podcast. I'm John Miller, joined again this week with Scott Jacobs.
Hi there.
He's still here in the studio with me, which is a rare treat because after this we'll probably have to go on to Skype. It's always nice to have my guest in the studio with me. But this week we are going to spend a little bit more time up on the roof of the hotel, and then we're going to get going and head off to the monkey temple, Swami Budnath, and check around because it's a pretty wild place. Do you remember your first thoughts when you saw that stupa?
I just remember thinking temple on the hill, this is very big.
It's very impressive.
It's very beautiful. It's incredibly impressive.
Well, enough of this. Let's get up on the roof and check out some more of Kathmandu. Here we go. So the key with the Iridium phone is to be outside. You can't make phone calls inside with it because it used to have full exposure to the satellites, and it's even hard to do it in mountains because the mountain might be blocking the view of the satellites. So it's searching right now. It's registered. And I got pretty good reception, so I'm going to give my wife a call. My wife is very supportive of me taking trips like these, so you can hear the cow. The cow down there. All right. She's very supportive of taking trips like this to a city where there's livestock in courtyards of buildings. When you have a wife as cool as mine, you gotta stay in touch with her so that you can keep doing stuff like this. Okay, it's connecting. It's ringing.
That phone was invaluable.
Yeah, it really was.
We use that quite often. It's nothing like calling your mom
Hey,
from
sweetie, it's me.
Central Tibet.
How you doing? I'm okay. I miss you so much. We're up here. Scott and I are up on the roof of the hotel right now. It is 8:30 in the morning here. The time isn't exactly 12 hours. It's actually like 11 and a half or 12 and a half. I forget which it is. But yeah, it's 8:30 in the morning on our first full day. Well, today we're going to go to the what's known as the Monkey Temple, and we're going to try to see that. We have a full day today, and then tomorrow we leave for Lhasa, and our bags haven't arrived yet. Hopefully they'll arrive later on today. There's one flight from Bangkok every day, and we think that they're probably going to be put on that flight to Kathmandu from Bangkok. That's probably where they got not misplaced. It probably just didn't have enough time to get on. So. But we're doing fine. Scott's doing great. Scott's he's filming us right now, and he's getting this look on his face that you can only really get in Kathmandu. It's this sheer enjoyment and relaxation of another culture. So it's very exciting to see that. So, and don't forget to check out the website. Don't forget to check out the website because I've posted some stuff. Yeah, as you guys remember, I was posting notes and photographs to my website for this trip. Yeah, I'll try to call you tomorrow from Lhasa. If I don't worry, I'll call you the next day. All right. I love you. All right, bye, sweetie. So, one of the things that Heidi and I have been trying to do is get her pregnant again. Oh, this is the morning of John getting choked up a little bit. Some of the people in the audience might know that she was pregnant in July and August and September of last year, 2006. But we miscarriaged in the middle of September, And I told everyone on the show that we were pregnant. I was very excited, but I didn't tell anyone in the show that, aside from a few people who emailed me asking how the pregnancy was going, that she had miscarried. And so that was extremely difficult. But that's one of the reasons I'm here. One of the reasons I'm on this trip is to try to take the opportunity, since there isn't going to be a baby this spring, for me to come out here and try to get to know myself a little bit better. Not that I don't know myself, but get to know sort of a spiritual side of myself that I'm not usually connected with. And I feel I can only really do that out in Nepal and Tibet. My goal is to try to understand what it is about Nepal and Tibet that makes me more connected with that spiritual side of myself, and try to take it home with me. So that's one of the reasons that Heidi is so supportive of this trip. Heidi is an extremely spiritual person, and I've been very jealous of that, and she's hoping that I can, understand a little bit more about that side of me. But one of the goals was to try to get her pregnant before I left the country, and so she's hopefully, the signs are all there, and the timing is right, and so hopefully she'll take one in the next few days or next week, and it'll be positive. So hopefully I'll make a satellite phone call and you'll see me jumping around like a madman up in Lhasa or up at Everest Base Camp. So, but we'll see how that goes.
I love that you guys are experiencing this together, thousands and thousands of miles away from each other. It was actually kind of fun to watch.
You got this great one?
The bear boxes, there were maybe 60 lined up in this arc. I stood at one end, and I got all 60 in this just long arc, and I just liked it. It's kind of cool.
My 2003 expedition really changed my life, and it was just so incredible. It's very hard to put into words. So, Scott and I had decided to go out and try to really let the place change us. And it's Scott's first trip, my second. And luckily, I can't speak for Scott, but I certainly found what I was looking for.
I found more. This guy was great. This guy was so much fun to interact with and just hang out with. I'd go stand with him.
Yeah, he was the security guard who would let people in and out of the hotel courtyard there.
He'd give us that salute every time we walked in. He would just hunt down a taxi even when we didn't need it. So, he's a good man.
You guys will notice every so often in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little bit of hair sticking down. That's not my hair. That is the windscreen on my little microphone. So, unfortunately, this was a brand new camera. I didn't have any time to play with it before we left, and I didn't realize that the viewfinder does not show the entire frame, so I couldn't see that hair, but all of you can, so I apologize. But we are still in Tamil. We are trying to leave Tamil, the tourist area, and you can just see how incredibly narrow these streets are. Luckily, the taxi cabs are really small.
Small, skilled drivers, however, very skilled drivers.
Yeah, but what are you going to do here?
And no, he's not going down the wrong side. That's just...
It's amazing how just the sounds of this can bring me back. Scott lives in the woods up in California, and I live in the foothills in Colorado, so we don't get a whole lot of congestion like this.
Yeah?
Sure. Thank you. Make you famous.
That grin on my face. I'm so happy to be there. See the cow and
I love how busy it was. There's just people and animals and noise and just commotion everywhere you go. People going about their business. So, and the ever-present cell phone.
I kept this shot in here because this is one thing that really changed from 2003. There just weren't very many cell phones, And turns out they are everywhere.
Everyone has a cell phone.
Even in Tibet, yak herders, nomadic people have cell phones now. It's just insane.
Well, and even in Tibet, there's cell
It's amazing
service.
there's paint left on the side of all these cars. I tell you, man, these guys could survive any day in Boston. Survival driving.
You see the temple up ahead of us?
Yes. I am very much looking forward to this. I've read quite a bit about this in the past few weeks. This particular temple is the cause of the wide-angle lens.
Yeah, these guys really are amazing drivers. Especially when you consider that so much of the roads aren't really even paved.
Yeah, big ruts and potholes, but you know, you do look at the cars, and they're in great shape. Mm-hmm. You would expect them to be all dinged up.
So as you know, the Monkey Temple, and here's why it's called the Monkey Temple. It's up on a hill, so we are switchbacking up and around the hill to get up to the top. There's a lot of monkeys. You can see the stupa, the tower up ahead of us there on the right. And you start seeing the prayer flags, so you know that you're getting close. Thousands of prayer flags. There's a little stupa down below the main square with the big stupa.
God, this wide-angle is awesome.
Isn't it great? I'm using mine right now.
In Tibetan, that's known as a chorten. Chorten and stupa are interchangeable. Just different languages.
The eyes of Buddha.
Yep.
These flags really were everywhere too.
Yeah. I really like prayer flags. I like what they stand for, how they work. And all around these places, there are these stray dogs.
Feel better.
And so many of them are probably sleeping because they just don't get enough food. We see this a lot in Tibet as well, because all of the monasteries and the stupas and everything, they take care of the dog. They take care of stray dogs.
Yeah, the monks will feed the animals.
Oh, there's a big stretch.
He was pretty as friendly as he looked. He almost took my finger out.
And this is a nice bag.
All kinds of stuff.
King and queen, sir. King and queen.
I remember having a certain level of not anxiety, but just caution at this point, because I just never experienced anything like this. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on an adventure and having fun, but I do remember a certain level of caution, because this was the first adventure out.
Well, and it's also a completely different culture.
It's another country, it's another culture, absolutely.
And you do hear, we did hear so much about the Maoists and everything, and they, for a while there was a ceasefire, and everyone seemed to be getting along fairly well, but then things started turning for the worse, and they're still having a pretty difficult time with the different parties right now, trying to get along. And I think this day or the day before, there was a shooting in southern Nepal, and 20 some odd people were killed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in Kathmandu.
There was some conflicts in Kathmandu while we were there, but towards the end of the visit.
One more tip, boleh?
I think these guys are from the cable TV station in Kathmandu Valley there. They were trying to do some sort of promos.
Boleh up.
But the guys they're filming just did not understand how to timing.
Ga. Boleh. Ga. Putar.
That's good.
That guy was filming with the same camera I shot the entire 2003 expedition with. That was a Sony PD-150. Great camera. Built like a tank.
So listen, it's quiet.
Yeah.
We're above the
Yep, we're above the city. And there's the main stupa. It's enormous. And it's just surrounded by all these little chortens, and they're all intricately carved. And it's a mix of both Tibetan, Buddhist traditions and Hindu traditions.
This was very important to some of the folks we talked to. There's one in particular. He says it's just indicative of the mix of cultures in Nepal that you can have a Hindu and a Buddhist temple, on the same ground.
And that they get along.
Yeah.
I think the legend is also that Kathmandu sprang up from like a seed was planted, and the original stupa kind of grew out of that seed.
I know that stupas used to be burial grounds. So the original stupas, I guess the whole inception of the stupa were burial mounds, excuse me.
This woman is painting on a third eye. It's in a minute here. I can't remember what it's called, but it's called a Tikka. And when I discovered that, I was like, oh, that makes sense, because my favorite headlamp is a petzl Tikka.
Tikka.
And you wear it right on your forehead. It's this little egg-shaped headlamp.
A little bit of light on your forehead.
Yep. And I thought, oh, that makes so much sense that they named it the Tikka. It's like, oh.
I hadn't put those two together.
Yeah, I know. She was really, really nice. She was so friendly. Before I started filming myself, she was like, come on, come on.
Any rupees?
So I'm trying to ask how much to pay her. And I think I gave her 100 rupees, and we found out later from Karma that I should have only probably given her like 4 rupees, but hey,
She did a very nice job.
she did a nice job.
Crafts, very hard.
Back when we were here, I think it was about 70 rupees were $1.
Yeah, it fluctuated between 67 and 70
Yeah.
in the time that we were there. It was interesting to be here as a tourist, or just experiencing this from a different culture, because you realize this is a very sacred place for devout religious people, and so we tried our very best to remain respectful.
And whenever you see me filming someone doing something personal, I've asked. I gesture to my camera and I gesture to them, and they usually nod.
It's amazing the response you'll get too. I mean, everyone is interested.
No.
This guy is great.
No, I bought.
So this guy's a salesman trying to sell these like lotions and soap and everything, and he was relentless.
It's not that I didn't like him. I really didn't need Tiger Balm.
I'm all upset here because I had purchased one of these Tiger Balm canisters from him for like 400 rupees, and then he's like trying to get Scott to buy one, and he's saying at the end there he's like 100 rupees. So I was like, hey,
Walking. clockwise around the stupa the way you're supposed to, and there's a woman sitting down there looking very nice, and she wanted to know if she could anoint me, and so I said of course, and so she painted this I don't know what it's called.
Tikka.
Do you know what these are called?
I do not.
Yeah. So
Not much out there. Either.
she was really kind, and she asked if she could paint it on me, and I was of course happy to have her do that, and so she did, and it took several minutes, and I just don't know the protocol, you know. I feel so ignorant sometimes. I mean, I love coming to these places, and it's wonderful, but you know, a lot of the time I just try to you know, experience it without really knowing much about it, but it's at times like those when I really wish I knew more about the culture and I knew more about what I was experiencing. So she finished, and I didn't know if you were supposed to pay for it or not, if it was just something you know, that people do. So I offered her, I think I gave her 100 rupees for it, and she seemed okay with that, but I don't, you know, you don't want to be insulting and everything, but she just had such a kind face, and I really enjoyed her painting on me.
Yeah,
so
she was very
hopefully,
okay.
I was holding the camera out. Hopefully I was able to get a shot of it. But it's always hard to tell. I'm never sure if I've got the camera. I'm not used to shooting myself, so I don't know if I've got the camera in shot or anything like that, me in the frame. So hopefully that turned out. But I'm proud to wear it, and it's a wonderful day here at Swayambhu.
But she wouldn't tell you how much to.
No.
It's always, well, how much do you think? How much is it worth to you?
And that's
great.
That's kind of what I do when I'm buying stuff. Is I think, oh, you know, wow, they're really ripping me off, because it would be a lot less. But you know, it's more what is it worth to you? Is it worth paying, you know, twice or three times what a local would pay?
Right.
You know, for some things it's yes, but you know, hopefully. I'm not sure, but hopefully in the future episodes, you'll see that Scott and I had created a perfect bartering system. Or not barter, just, you know, trying to negotiate the price, and it was flawless.
We came to an understanding about the commerce situation.
Hopefully we've got that on tape, but
I think we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, next week we are going to look around the stupa some more, and we're going to meet some more locals, and we're going to talk with a man named Vicky. And it just gives you an example of just how friendly these people are. Yes, they're trying to sell you stuff, but at the same time, they are very generous of their time and their knowledge, and really enjoyable. So hope all of you will tune in next week for that. So thanks so much, Scott.
Thank you.
And we will both see you guys next week. The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every week. If you enjoy watching and would like to show your support, then take a look at my website. Aside from having lots of additional blog entries from the expedition updated every week, there's this little donation button on every page. Now, many of you have pressed that button, and your generous contributions are helping to cover my hosting fees. If you haven't donated but would like to, then just contribute any amount. In return, I'll give you access to the video and audio dispatches I sent out while we were actually at Everest. It's pretty interesting stuff. Contribute $25 or more, and I'll even throw in an iPod-compatible version of the film Everest: The Other Side. That's the project the entire podcast here is based on. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywu.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.